You mentioned the Pat Tillman Award for military service. This is a very prestigious award. Tell us about that situation. There's been a huge amount of pushback. Pat Tillman's mother, I believe, has come out and protested his getting the award. What's going on here?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so ESPN is one of our biggest sports networks. So you tune in if you want to watch football, baseball, whatever. They have commentary, sports commentary on that program. They have an award show called the ESPYs, and under that award show there is the Pat Tillman Award. Pat Tillman, I grew up in Arizona, is an international hero. I mean, truly, he's a wonderful human being, but specifically in Arizona, there are statues of him erected all over the place. He was an NFL player, a football player, who gave up a over $3 million contract with the Arizona Cardinals after 9/11 to go fight with his brother. His brother and him, they committed 3 years to the Army. And he goes into the Army. After the first year, it really wrecked him emotionally, and he wasn't happy there. The NFL swooped in and said, we'll give you an even bigger contract. We found a loophole. You can leave after your first year. And Pat Tillman said, no, I committed 3 years. I'm going to stay in the Army. I'm going to fight for my country. Literally weeks later, he dies in friendly fire. I mean, shot by his own team. The government lies about it. Initially, his mother, Mary Tillman, spends years fighting with the Bush administration to find the truth, figure out how her son truly died. I mean, it was such a saga. It was such a scandal at the time. But this man giving up money, giving up fame to pursue a life of service for his country. I mean, that's really what the story is. And they've created the Pat Tillman Awards to honor similar individuals, people that might, feel like they can relate. And then somebody that might be helping vets, somehow associated with sports, which in general you think, okay, the Invictus Games I get, but Prince Harry, who left a life of service to pursue Hollywood and fame and money, is the complete opposite of that. And you're absolutely right. I mean, in a very rare kind of courageous move, Mary Tillman spoke out and she told the Daily Mail, I am shocked as to why they would select such a controversial and divisive individual to receive the award. There are recipients that are far more fitting. These are individuals working in the veteran community that are doing tremendous things to assist veterans. These are individuals who don't have money, resources, connections, or privilege the type Prince Harry has. And she said, I feel like those types of individuals should be recognized. Over 60,000 people have signed a petition asking ESPN to reconsider this decision. The Arizona Republic, I believe it was yesterday, which is the biggest paper in the state of Arizona, they released an opinion piece called Have Some Respect, ESPN, for Pat Tillman's mom, saying that Prince Harry should not be awarded this. Daisy, at the time of the Oprah interview, you and I were not in a position to question everything that was being said. Aside from culturally, we would have been attacked, saying that it was racist for us to question Meghan Markle because a lot of the accusations were race-based. We didn't know these two well enough to challenge them. And so I have not seen this much pushback on this couple ever in my life. Like, I know Oprah was salacious, but a lot of us just had to sit back and bite our tongues until we knew the truth or until we had more information. This is the biggest pile-on I have seen since these two have been together. People rejecting this idea of Prince Harry standing up there and accepting this award. And it does seem really disrespectful that he would ignore Pat Tillman's mother's wishes. She lost her son, and get up there and accept this award. It's like, and I acknowledge Invictus, but does Prince Harry know where the porta potties go? Does Prince Harry know the seating arrangements or what music plays when? The Invictus Game, he is a mascot for the Invictus Games. An idea that he stole from the Warrior Games in the States, and that the royal family truly built the template for.
Gosh, it is really scandalous, the whole thing. And the thing is, I feel like with Meghan and Harry, Americans have a different perception of them than, say, obviously the Brits do, but also Australians, because, you know, where sovereign is the monarch. We're a constitutional monarchy, and we understand royalty a little bit differently to your average American. I feel like Americans see them as celebrities rather than royals, except with the exception of your good self, of course, but there's a different perception. And they've looked at Meghan and Harry and seen them as these kind of B, C, D grade celebrities trying to kind of insert themselves very unseriously into the celebrity class in America. But if there's one thing that Americans really do understand and honor, it's their vets, it's their veterans, it's military service, it's patriotism. Do you think this Pat Tillman issue will really be the death knell possibly for Prince Harry and Meghan's brand in the USA?
I think it could be a combination, because I also believe if Meghan releases this show and it is a disaster and it is Cringe Fest 2024, I think that could be the combination that forces them to go away for a little while and to re-strategize. There's a lot of anger when it comes to the Pat Tillman Awards, but you made the point that they are celebrities now. So it's almost like a train wreck that people can't stop watching. They won't forgive them, but they'll keep buying the books. They'll keep tuning in because they just can't take their eyes away from the car crash. And you know, the Pat Tillman Award to me is another way that they use because you know how these awards work. It's all about who you know. Serena Williams, who has stayed connected to Meghan Markle over the last several years, is hosting that award show. Serena Williams went to their wedding. She appeared in the Archetypes podcast. We believe she's appearing in Prince Harry's new Polo documentary. It's all about who you know. And they also have publicists working behind the scenes that are pitching them for these trophies, because Harry and Meghan can't be the only ones that keep telling us how great they are. So their agents and publicists want these big fancy award shows to give them these honors, so that if you're just Joe Schmo sitting at home with your hand in a bowl of popcorn, you go, oh, I guess they're kind of cool. Look at all these trophies they're getting. This is all them playing the system, trying to manipulate the system, because they want people that don't do their due diligence to accept them as these martyrs, when in reality, they've done far more harm than they have good over the last few years. They had no shame in the days and weeks leading up to the Queen's death. They refused to see her when she asked to see them just days before she died. And they were already in the UK. Remember when they refused to postpone the Oprah Winfrey interview when Prince Philip was in the hospital, because they said they felt like it was just that they were just saying that to take away their, to take their hype away from them. I mean,
it was
these are two people that are totally self-consumed.
Completely self-consumed, and like absolutely no concept of the importance of family, and no concept of family loyalty, or the fact that, with all families have dysfunction somewhere along the line. I think probably most people would agree that Harry certainly has a lot of unresolved trauma from the death of his mother. Possibly that wasn't handled well enough. Probably Prince Charles, who was prince at the time, had no idea how to handle it. I mean, how do you handle that situation with a little boy? But to air all that sort of supposed dirty laundry in public in such a degrading way to the rest of the family, that's not what you do with family. You handle that stuff privately. You do it privately for the sake of the people involved and to hear everyone out. So I think that has certainly enraged people as well. And look, it's interesting you mention those award ceremonies. It's about who you know. Like Serena Williams was the host. Probably Meghan had a few other tentacles in there. This might, and this is sort of the rumor, we know that Prince Harry is having trouble with his visa. There's a bit of contention there. He'll have to renew it at some point. One thing, of course, that can back up visas to the US are things like awards, eminent awards, eminent honors, etc. Could there, and look again, this could be just a rumor, this is just us speculating, everyone, for the record, could there have been a bit of a push from Meghan and Harry to get Harry this award, possibly to back up actually allowing him to have a visa and stay in the States?
Well, I did consult with an immigration attorney out of Northern California about this topic this
Mm.
week because I had seen that too. And I also wanted to know if the reason he might be pursuing a residence in the UK could be some sort of visa issue, because if you're never there, I'm having a hard time believing he wants a foot in the UK still if his wife refuses to go, his children aren't allowed over there. So I was trying to figure out, A, if he might be looking for a home in the UK because that was some sort of, criteria for his visa. But when I talked to the immigration attorney about it all, she said that it's possible. However, it doesn't explain all of Meghan Markle's trophies. Because keep in mind, we had to watch Meghan Markle. It's at least 3 trophies she received
Mm.
over the course of the Archetypes podcast, for the Archetypes podcast, which was swiftly canceled.
Gosh.
And the Spotify said the return on investment was just not there.
Mm.
So, it's a little odd that she's accepting all of these trophies after right before getting the boot, which was ultimately Spotify saying she was not worth it. She was not worth the amount of money they were paying. She was difficult to work with, and the product wasn't worth the drama.
Yeah.
And so, the fact that Meghan was accepting trophies in New York and LA from the Kennedy family, that she said that she felt like this was really about the Sussexes trying to change trying to change their reputation, versus perhaps a visa issue.
Mm. Yes, maybe we're all giving them too much credit, thinking that this could be a way to kind of back up Harry's visa. Maybe we're overestimating them a little bit. I think you make an excellent point there. This really was probably just about glorifying themselves even more in an attempt to fix their reputations.